friend for my whole life.
Well, maybe I'll be down to scoop you up later in life if you ain't all shriveled up.
We'll be all together.
Be like Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee.
Vic, you know you always got a place in my heart.
She can have my one heart, my liver, my lungs, my kidneys, my blood, marrow, all of it.
Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell. Now, I think at this point, everybody is really, really over Jada, Tupac, and Will, and this complete hot mess of a book tour. Honestly, I personally believe that Jada is literally digging herself in a hole with whatever may or may not be left of this relationship, non-relationship with Will Smith. Because I'm going to tell you, this bender that she's been on discussing Tupac, honestly, I feel is emasculating. I'm going to share more of my opinion in a moment. First, I'm going to share this clip. This TikToker is breaking down what she calls to be a blatant lie in Jada's story. First, I'm going to play a clip from Jada. Then I'm going to play this TikToker, and I'm going to show you guys what I think about what this mess is going on. This is a complete mess, y'all. So I'm about to break this down after I show these clips.
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that, he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time. Right? I'm here.
Now you see why we love you.
And then he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation. You know, because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
All right, so you guys just saw that clip from Jada. Now I'm about to play this clip from this TikToker, and I'm telling you guys, she broke this down correctly. Yes, me and Jada are kind of the same age, and I do remember that these events did kind of go in this order. So now I'm about to play this TikToker part 1. Tell me what you guys think below.
I cannot handle these fucking lies anymore. Jada is currently on her Pay Attention to Me tour, and she is making all these wild claims, including that Tupac proposed to her while he was at Rikers. Really? The math isn't mathing, so let's take a look. Tupac was convicted of sexual assault charges on February 8th, 1995. From there, he was sent to Rikers Prison, only to be transferred less than a month later to Clinton Correctional Facility. And she specifically said she went to see him. This was not on the phone.
The book when I go to see him in Rikers, probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there.
Cool. So prior to going into Rikers, Tupac already had a girlfriend named Keisha. He proposed to Keisha, her words, in a September 2011 interview. He proposed to Keisha before he even went into prison. They were already engaged. They got married in April. And in the time that he got sentenced and was taken to prison, Keisha actually moved closer to be by him and be by the prison and saw him on a near daily basis.
When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers.
So you're telling me that in the 3 to 4 week window that he was at Rikers, engaged to another woman who had moved closer to the prison and was there almost every day, Tupac proposed to Jada. But hey, Jess, you might be saying to yourself, Tupac wasn't known to be a one-woman man. He was no angel. Fair enough. Let's see where Jada was during February of 1995, which was, as we've already established, the only time she would have been able to see Tupac at Rikers since he was only there for less than a month. You see, Jada had already met Will Smith in 1994 on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will Smith was married, and so nothing happened between them. But in February of 1995, Will Smith was served divorce papers by his wife. 5 days later, on February 19th, Will called Jada and said, "Are you single?" And she said, "Yep." Will said, "We're together now." Jada said, "Cool." And she immediately flew to LA. She flew so immediately that...
All right, you guys just saw part 1 of that clip. I'm about to play part 2 of that clip. Thank you to that TikToker. Please follow her page. But I am also going to say again, what she's saying is factual. I am as old as Jada, and I remember that these events did happen in this order. So I'm about to play this last part. Tell me what you think.
She flew so immediately that when he called her, she was in Maryland at a brand new house she bought. And she never spent a single night in her new house. That's how immediately she flew to LA. Jada, when, in all that time, did you visit Tupac at Rikers and get this fucking proposal? And for the record, Keisha and Tupac stayed married for about 10 months. They got their marriage annulled about 4 or 5 months after Tupac was released from prison. He was bailed out by Suge Knight. It wasn't long after that he met Kidada Jones. Kidada Jones is the daughter of legendary Quincy Jones. Kidada looks a little recognizable. You may know her sister, Rashida Jones, who played Karen on The Office. Kidada and Tupac were living together and engaged when Tupac was shot and killed. Kidada was the one that was there with him at the hospital the night he died. Kidada was handed his bloody clothes. She was the one who told him, "We all love you," before he slipped into a coma and never woke up. Keisha spoke with Tupac several days before he died, because even though their marriage was annulled, they still remained good friends. And I can't help but notice that all of the women who are actually part of his life in a meaningful way are the ones that have just kept quiet. They've kept silent. They've kept their memories to themselves and not tried to use a dead man as their limelight. And the person who's squawking about him the most is making claims that can't even be verified and don't make sense from the perspective of a verifiable timeline.
I see why we love you.
He needed a rock. Because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation.
Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
He got the best.
He did get the best, but not from Jada, because per Will Smith's own words, that him and Jada were pretty much humping all over the world. They were traveling constantly from the first 3 months they were together, all over the world. So Tupac did get some great support, I imagine, from his wife, who moved closer to be with him and visited him every day. And why do I care? Because I'm Gen X. And like any good Gen X person, I grew up on Tupac. We all remember this going down. We all remember where we were when we heard that Tupac got shot or that he died. We all had this fucking hat from Poetic Justice, walking around looking like newsies, slinging newspaper about the Great Depression and FDR. And we're all just sitting here watching Jada spout these lies, being like, do you think no one remembers? Because we all remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers, Jada.
All right, so I'm going to leave you guys with my opinion about this situation. First of all, no matter how Jada and Will end up dealing with their own situation, which honestly I felt should have been dealt with more privately, I think the entire brand is actually diminished at this point. Jada is literally showing little to no respect to Will Smith, even though they're still married on paper, as she says. You're still married to him. And if he was not the one to be able to give you that spiritual enrichment that you needed for yourself as an individual and as his wife, please let this situation go. If he's not good for you, he might be wonderful for somebody else. Secondly, there's no issue with her still caring about Tupac, but honestly, the math ain't mathing. While I do respect that, something may have been going with this deep friendship, she's talking about Tupac in a way that, well, she should be talking about Will. Make it make sense. This is really sad to me to see this going on. I mean, honestly, Will is getting the worst end of the stick with all these details coming out. If Will Smith was doing what Jada is doing right now, as far as the way Jada is discussing another man, we will be dragging Will Smith through the mud. Period. Now, I understand that Jada is now what we're calling a situationship. So it's being revealed now, perhaps just for book sales. But regardless of that, you're still married. Respect your marriage. I really do believe that the way some of the information has been put out with the public not even really want to hear all of this information put out, I really do think that, they need to quietly deal with their issues or just quietly actually get divorced. Now, Will Smith did put out a statement. It's on TMZ. It seems like he is being compassionate about the entire thing. Obviously, I'm sure that he was forewarned about what was being put in the book, obviously. So, that's understandable. However, I'm at a point where enough is enough. Either they would fix this marriage, which really deep down I would like them to. I really hate to see people going through divorce. Or honestly, bag it up, pack it up, sign the divorce papers if y'all can't come to a conclusion about what y'all want to do with yourselves. At this point, I think they're doing more damage currently with the state of what I'm seeing from the public on the outside looking in versus what they think they may be fixing with themselves, if that makes any sense, you guys. So I just want to share my 2 cents on this story. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more and more and more and more about Jada, Will, and the Tupac saga during the week. If anything else pertinent break out, I'm definitely going to make another video. Until next time, you guys, like, share, and subscribe. Be safe. Bye, guys.